All right, everybody. Welcome to the Learn and Earn with Molly and the team. This will be the first of two meetings for March. Can't believe March is here. It's cray cray. But it is St. Patty's Day and everything else. So, yes, Floyd Butler, he is an animal. He is a beast. Let me tell you, he is the way he is. Talk about pimping your e-store and people going and he's doing it. He's at this hospital one day in the hospital having surgeries. He's at this rehab center on this day trying to get better. He pimping it there. He have to go back to the hospital. He go there. He go back to the rehab. He pimping it there. And he has had killer orders. So way to go on that. That is terrific. What we're going to do, my meeting in the box, of course, we did last 2 weeks ago. So we're not going to have a lot of product that we're going over tonight. We'll talk about a couple of them. But I'm going to do something that I do probably about every third to fourth campaign. So if you find this, especially for my vets that are on here, if you find this is boring because you know it all and you want to jump off, I completely get it. But as leaders, you know that we have to think about our new representatives, and we got to think about what they need. And I know there was a time I just had new representative calls, but what I love is you guys are all here for those of you who know how to do it. So you pop in with more ideas, more ways that you do it, because it's not just the Molly way. It's trying to figure out what works for each person. And we have so many people coming on the team at this stage. And because they're all over the US, I mean, 7 o'clock here is what, only 4 o'clock somewhere else, especially. So not everybody can get on because of their jobs, their kids' school. But I really wanted to focus on just some key things that sometimes I think that not just as a leader, but even as a representative, being in here almost 17 years with Avon, we tend to take some of these things for granted, like, oh, well, everybody should know that. And then I notice when I'm talking to somebody new or somebody who's been in 6 months and I go, oh, well, you can do this. And they're like, what? No, I didn't know that. And I'm like, oh man, I have got to get back to
Good
revisiting some of the
evening.
basics. So Margarita's here. Hey, Margarita, thanks for joining us again. Margarita, I think this is like 4 weeks in a row for you. You have like perfect record going on right now. That's great. I love that.
I'm trying my
Um,
best.
yeah, you are good, girl. You are good. I love it when you show up. Now, for a lot of you, I've shipped out a lot of packages. Excuse me, here lately. I did not wait to pick the people. You know, I told everybody if they watched this within 48 hours 2 weeks ago, I had folders, only 4 folders with business tools in it that I was drawing from a raffle and shipping those out. All of that's been shipped out because there was time sensitive material that was in it. So I didn't want to wait another 2 weeks or whatever. So I put all that in the group. Let me say the first thing. If you're not in our Facebook team group, why not? And even if you're not a Facebook person, you should just have Facebook just to stay connected with the team so that you're getting the information from me and from all the other leaders who are sharing. Because sometimes when Avon sends a bunch of emails, you tend to miss stuff. But we don't just post stuff willy-nilly in the group. We post the important stuff. So don't forget Team Onward. Just about in all my emails that I send you personally, I have the links to that. And then I have one other group that is a global group that's called Onward No Matter What. Now that has close to 17,000 representatives in it all over the globe. They're not even in the US, but we're all Avon sisters and brothers. So I just share with all of them and they all share together and everybody helps one another and encourages people. I don't tell newbies to go there right away because I feel like we got to build you up slowly, because if any of you are in Onward No Matter What, they're not on my team, but I know they're going to be watching this because I put this on YouTube. You know-it-alls who are in my group and you don't know how to talk to people and you're not nice, you better stop it. I'm watching you. That's what I'm going to say. Sometimes they forget what I just said I forget. That the people who come into these groups a lot of times are new, or this did not come as easy to some people, and not by any means do I think building the business at all is easy. But some people it did come a little bit easier. They had more time to spend with it. They had more maybe contacts right up front with their jobs or their churches or whatever it is. And I think that's great. I think that's great if they do. Let me add Kim Edwards here. I know she's got to connect first. Kim is one of our top sellers on the team. She's absolutely amazing. Kim just won a $50 Amazon card because she actually increased her over $1,000 sales by actually almost $300. So we picked her and I don't know what she's doing, people. All I know, she good at it. Her sales better than mine. Or she good at it. That's what I'm going to tell you. And I love it when they're good at it. So she didn't start there. She built it, but she's a beast too, boy. Her and Floyd right now, there's something else. So Kim's amazing. Okay, making sure I didn't miss anybody else here as this is coming on. Okay. So we want to make sure. So I don't always like say, oh, go join Onward. No, there's nothing wrong with the group. Lee and I are on that group, and we have people, what we call our spies, who keep things watching for stuff for me, and they let me know, and we go in. But you don't take anything personally in there. I love to send people in there just to scroll so they can see what everybody's doing, and they can see the files, and they can say, oh, this is working for me. So I guess I'm sorry with the Zoom. You're on your phone, Tammy. It wouldn't let you connect. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, when I first started getting on Zooms, I have that problem. Oh, you're on the computer now? Okay. Huh. Okay. Well, Tammy, as long as you can hear me, that's what's important. And I'm watching the chat, my friend. So if you have any questions or anything, nope, just put them in there. My leaders are watching it too, so they will help us out. So what we're doing tonight is we're going to go backwards a little bit, and we're going to think about this business as when you're first coming on, and things that maybe you didn't know. And for my leaders and my reps on here who also are what I would call veterans in the company, if you can think of things that you can add to this, things that I only wrote down a few things tonight because I didn't want to keep you guys forever. But what I did is I pulled some notes from what I did about a year ago, and I'm like, wow, I'm shocked at how much is still the same with all the changes. So, but it really is. Let's start with the brochure. Brochure is huge to me. It's the number one business tool, in my opinion, that we have in this business. Our brochure is something that, matter of fact, anybody who knows Avon, the first thing they'll say if they know you're an Avon rep is they'll say, do you have a book? Do you have a brochure? It's the first thing they're going to ask, because you know why? Not because somebody told them, because they know, and they used to get them all the time. So if you have brochures and you readily have them available on your person, in your tote, in your purse, whatever that looks like, with your information on the back, on a label, with it written out, whatever it is. One helpful hint that I will tell you, I know that our campaigns are dated, and I understand that they're for 2 weeks. You can back order up to one campaign, and Avon will honor the sale prices. Now, let me go forward a little bit. There are very few prices in there that are quote unquote sale prices that are just going away anymore. And I love that about Avon Now. They're consistent. It used to be you'd see a pair of earrings in there, and if you gave an old brochure to somebody, maybe those earrings were like $8.99. But then if that brochure was at the time like 3 or 4 campaigns old, when they saw it, even if Avon still had them, they weren't on sale anymore, and they'd be like $18.99. And then because it was older than the cutoff date, we couldn't get that for them. But as it stands right now, most of the time it will be, this is what the regular price is, but those sale prices for those campaigns, I mean, I can go back right now and tell you that the rice water cleanser is the same price it's been all the way across. And I appreciate that. It is a sale price. It's not the regular price, but they keep that price there. I am going to encourage you, let me say this right. I'm going to encourage you, if you're not dealing with an established customer, somebody who has ordered from you before is what I'm viewing as an established customer. I am suggesting that you do not date your brochures ever. Like, you're out, you're behind somebody in the grocery store, There's 3 people in front of y'all, and you're looking back at each other like, seriously, they couldn't open another line. And my first thing then is, I want to help occupy their time, and I want to open up the conversation. So I'll immediately go, man, can you believe they're not? Now, of course, you're saying, hold on. Now you're saying it with a mask. Man, I can't believe. You got to hope they can hear you, so say it loud. You have to say, I can't believe they don't open up another line. Hey, I have an extra Avon brochure here. You know what I mean? You want to look at this while you're standing here in line. Shoot, by the time you get done, you'll probably be up there ready to load your groceries. And then if most of the time, and I'm going to say 99.8% of the time, they're like, oh, yeah, Avon, I haven't seen a brochure. I hear that all the time. I wish we didn't. I wish we were hearing that they always were offered an Avon brochure, but that's what we're going for now with our new owners. But I will give that to them. There's not a date on here. And you know what? Like, this one is campaign 6. And until I give this to somebody, I'll still be carrying this with me. I could be in campaign 9 and I will still carry this with me. To me, this is your bread and butter. Your store is opened when you have a brochure with you. And yes, you can give people your e-store. There's nothing wrong with that. You've just got to hope they're going to remember and go to that e-store. But if they had a brochure, they're going to pull that out of the bag. They're going to pull it out of the purse they put it in. And they're going to go, oh, yeah. And then while they're watching that show with their husband, or they've put the kids to bed, they're going to take this and they're going to page through it because it's in their face. They don't have to remember the website. They don't have to go look at the text if you send them that. This is the #1 tool. So I tell people, don't put dates in it. Just put your information on it. And if there's anything that's not available because we just don't have it anymore, I say, I'm sorry, this isn't available. I don't say that's an old book. I don't say, well, I gave you something that wasn't current. I don't say that. I said, oh, you know what? That was such a popular product that we rolled out of that product. But let me suggest a couple of other things, or let's have a conversation to see what else that you like. But if you're ready, having a brochure and always being ready has bought me the majority of my customers. It's not because Avon sent them to me. It's not because a sign was on my car. Now, all of that works. All of the things that you'll hear me flash on and go, well, a sign on your car, or a shirt that has Avon on it, or a button that you have, or whatever, it all will. But that isn't a flash. That isn't a moment. And a brochure is something that will just keep on reminding them, hey, they've got something. Mary says the little combo flyers. Yes, the 145, not the goodbye flyers. Yes, I love those. If you can get those, gosh, I think I sent them all to everybody. Hold on, when I did those folders, I'm trying to see if I have any more of them. Hold on, let me look. Okay, like look at these. Body Best, the little ones, they'll plop some in your bags. Now this one was for what? Campaign 6. This one was. This is great. These are great because, for one, there is some stuff in here you're not going to see. You're not going to see. Rebecca says established customers are who you follow up with. They need your date. Yes. Okay. That's very true. What Rebecca is saying is people who are established, you want to let them know when that order is going in. Now, remember, we have 2 weeks. And because we all have customers who have budgets, for me, if I know like what day I'm going to put in an order in campaign 6, they need to know I need to have it by that date. But then I also give them an alternate date. 2 weeks from that date, I'll be putting in another order. And I do that now, even though I deal with Campaign Mailer, and Campaign Mailer sends my books out. I don't even know if you can see this, but oh gosh, let me see if I can get it up here. With Campaign Mailer, I put on here, let me read it. It says orders due by, this one says February 28th or March 14th, because they're the last days I place my order. So it's for both campaigns. So when I have my people from my active seniors and people like that who are on a budget, but they like to order from me, or they know when they're getting their paychecks, whatever that looks like. They know they can take that order and they can break it up. Well, I'm gonna give Molly this stuff this time. I'm gonna give her this stuff next time, but then they have the date. So it's always a good idea with your established customers. Yeah, Tammy, campaign mailer is great. Campaign mailer, if you want to look into that, campaign mailer is www.campaign-mailer, MAILER.com. That is a brochure mailing program. A representative owns that. They're very good at what they do. I can remember when I first found out about this service, I only used it for people who were too far for me. But what's really funny about that is one of my goals that was on my action board was to eventually be able to send all my customer their brochure, because it took a lot of time. It would take Lee and I almost a full day going through 3 counties, delivering brochures, hanging them on their door, taking their order. And that was okay when this is all I was doing. But for the first 7 years of my business, I had a full-time job and a part-time job, and I was a single mom. And boy, we just knew what day we were doing it. But it would be an all day thing. We would leave at 9 in the morning. We might be back at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That is how business was always done back then. But eventually, as my checks grew, eventually as my commissions grew and my business grew, I was able to keep adding customers to my campaign mailer list. And now I'm happy to say that 137 customers on an ongoing basis get brochures from me with campaign mailer. Is that cheap? No, it's not. It's not cheap. But you know what? It was doable when I only had 7 people who lived further than I wanted to deliver a brochure, and they really didn't want to look at that online brochure. They would do it if I stayed on them, but they wanted the brochure. So then I would do 7 every other week. Another thing, that if you're looking for customers, maybe you're like, Molly, I have 4 customers. That's all I have. Okay, that's good. You can get them that. And then you're like, how am I going to get these brochures into the hands of people I don't know, especially in the day of COVID? We used to say, go out. We used to say, knock on doors. We used to say, we go out and toss them in driveways and this and that. And a lot of that you can still do, but some of it you can't. And in this day and age, it's a little frowned on. So I tell people, if you know what developments, what home communities you want to go to, and you see that there could be 100 homes in that neighborhood, I tell people to take a community one street at a time. And I take 15 minutes to go down the street and say, for instance, my street, Harvest Point Drive. So I went down and we wrote down every house number on Harvest Point Drive, every house number on both sides. And then I would say, how many people can I afford to send a brochure to from this street? So we started with 106, 108, 110, and I'd skip that because that's me. 112. And what I did is, shut up, Janae. Look at Janae laughing at me. Lucy's laughing at me. Everybody laughing at me. You know what I meant. I did not send one to me. So what's cool about that is if you can only do 4 homes, I kept this in a notebook, and I still do. I still do this, especially since moving to North Carolina. I picked 5 people that I wanted, new people, and I sent them all a brochure. And what I put for the names, because they asked for first and last name, I put current resident. Everybody was current, everybody was resident. And then they came off my list because you enter the addresses on this campaign mailer. Those addresses then came off, and I waited for the response. But the next campaign, I picked the next 5, 114, 116, 118, and I kept doing that till the whole street was done. Because if they don't know that I'm an Avon rep, if they don't know there's one local, is that their fault or is it my fault as a representative? It's my fault. Yeah, Lucy, you're 100% right. Now, if you're now we're coming into better weather for those of us who've been suffering with bad weather. If you are out walking, If you are out doing your thing, if you're walking your dog, if you're taking your kids to the playground, whatever that looks like, your grandkids, I always have brochures with me then too, because if I see somebody, hey, would you like, I'm a local Avon representative. Would you like a current brochure? By the way, it's okay if they say no. If they say no, it could be because they already have a representative. It could be because they didn't have a good experience. They just may not be interested, but be grateful that they are okay with saying no, because why would you want to waste a brochure on somebody who has no want to shop your store? Think about it. It's not a bad thing then. It is a good thing. A lot of people will be like, oh yeah, that's good. I swear I have walked right past them after I give them a brochure and I watch them toss it in the trash can. I went back and dug my book out of the book. Don't they know those books cost money? What's wrong with it? Couldn't they wait till I walk away? I know. I was like so offended. I was offended. So if they tell you no, you're going to live through the no. It's okay. Quit thinking this society who thinks that no is a bad thing. We should all learn how to say no. So always be ready. That's what I would say. Know that you can order one campaign back and honor the sale price, but it's really not even an issue now with the way the company is doing things. So I like that too. The other thing is returns. You can return anything except that sale flyer, except for the goodbye, and you'll know it because it'll say, this is final sale, you can't return it. I don't give those to my customers, so I just don't, and I'm not telling y'all not to. Okay, let me just say this. I'm not telling you not to. I'm telling you I don't, because I don't want the argument of the fact that we should be taking anything back. Avon doesn't on these final sales. I would try to order anything I could, but I just felt like it became a hassle when that became their policy. And believe me, we have enough in the books for them, but yet not all the books are that way, because when they come out with some of the ones that do not say that, I love that. I love that, because if they need to, because there's a lot of clothes and stuff in it, that's okay. But make sure that you realize, what is the return policy now? Janae, Rebecca, somebody, Mary, who knows? What's the return policy? How many days is it now? Is it
45 days? But
is it 45? They're told 45. Okay, wait a minute. Is it 45 for us and they're told? How does that roll, Rebecca?
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's 45 days for customers and 60 days for representatives.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking. I know they've got it covered up. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get this other book. Yeah, Rebecca. Yeah, you guys are right. It says if you're not satisfied, return any item within 45 days. But yes, they have to return it in 45 days, but we have 60 days to get it back to them. Right, guys?
Yes, we do.
Okay. A lot of people don't know that, but you have 60. And then some people, let me tell you something else. It doesn't matter what we used to get. There was a time we used to get a free return once a month and we didn't get charged. We're not even going to talk about it because that's not how it is anymore. But when you're returning things and you have to put things in for returns, I try not to return anything. I'm not going to lie. If it's something that they've just decided they don't like, I would rather take a perfume that they didn't like the first 3 squirts or whatever, and then offer it to somebody else, and I discount it. I discount it 10% or something. This was a tester. Do you like this perfume? Whatever it is. Maybe somebody, you ordered it and then, they don't give you the money or something. Whatever that looks like, I try to sell it. But if you do have to return it, what I do is put it in for the return, but if you're able to, I will hold my returns till the end of the month. And I will send all my returns to Avon together, because that way you're only getting charged one shipping fee. Kim Marie is here. Hey, Kim.
Hi, dolls.
Let me write Kim down. Hold on.
Hi, Kim.
Here we go. Kim Marie's been working her tail off. She hasn't been here in a while. She is completely becoming re-engaged here because she's decided she like Avon people better than her main job. So that's how it
right.
is.
I'm gonna trade in this stinky uniform for y'all.
That's right. She wants to be. She wants to wear retail. That's right. That's what she wants to do, and I get that. So just remember, I'm trying to think of some different ways to save you guys money. And a lot of times, although, let me say this too, in the last 8 months, I have had one thing returned from customers. One. Now I got to tell you, 2 years ago, I couldn't tell you that. 2 years ago, I had many things returned. I thought, what is going on here? And I felt like, man, this is not a good thing. But that's not happening. I do believe it's because we have such an upscale product now all the way around, and people are just loving what we have. But if you do, go ahead and put that return in, but wait until the end of the month. And if you don't have any other returns, then finish the processing and do the postage on that and send that into Avon, because then you're getting charged for one package instead of getting charged for every package. Okay, hopefully that will help. The other thing is, again, this is your choice, but I'm just going to tell you what most reps would say. Order early in the campaign with what you have. The earlier that you order in a campaign, for instance, the new campaign for campaign 7 starts on Wednesday. Most representatives who are established will order anywhere from Wednesday to Friday. Okay. And I do that. I put in 2 orders a campaign, but that's me, and that's where I'm at. And I'm between Honor Society and Rose Circle. So I sold 28,000 last year. I do that because I know some people are going to come in at the last minute and order. And then as I let that order build, if it gets big enough, I'll put in a second order and we'll send it, because then it's worth it. The reason I say this is, you don't want somebody to give you an order or 2 people to give you an order. I found out there were reps. All I have to do is look at their account. They're putting every order in separately. Mary Jo ordered, she put it in. Tammy ordered, she put it in. Margarita ordered, she put it in. And I'm looking at 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, like they're getting charged every time they place an order. You don't want to do that. You want to pick a day within the 2-week campaign, and you want to put all the orders you receive from customers that you have to deliver, the personal orders, and you want to take all those orders and put them in together as one big order, so that you are only charged one shipping fee then. The name of this game is know what you can do so you are putting the least amount of money on running your business than you have to. And for most of you on here, you know that. But for some people who may be watching the replay and they're brand new, they may not know that. That's Lucy, absolutely. Now, eStore, Lucy, they can go all day long because you're not responsible for that. Let them put it in every single day. You good. But for your orders, my friend, you want to gather them all. That's why I don't tell my customers exactly what day I'm putting everything in. They just know that they're going to get their order from me. But as Rebecca said, I do like established customers. I like to train my customers, for lack of a better word, to say they know that every other Wednesday, Molly is putting her order in, and I'm reminding them, whether it's with my shuffle card or a phone call or a text or whatever it is, I'm reminding them on Tuesday, hey, I'm putting in my order tomorrow. So I want to make sure, is there anything I can get you? Want to make sure of that. Let me check the messages here. 1 order day. Also, I offer 2 delivery days only. Mary says, are you getting your new brochures out how much earlier than it starts? Because I do campaign mailer, my books go out. I do Schedule C. That'll make sense to you, Mary, if you look at it. I do Schedule C. I am okay. And look, we know that they don't have any control over when a customer receives it, because it's bulk mail, and once it goes out, it's up to the postal service. Sometimes they get it way earlier than I'd really like them to get it. Okay, but I've waited longer and they get them way later than I want. I would always rather them get it earlier than later. I find that C is mid-grade, so that I put in, if I've already got orders for that first Friday, like this Friday. If I have enough, I'll put in an order this Friday. But if I don't, I'll wait and I'll put an order in Monday if I have enough then from people. That is how I gauge what I'm going to do. And what is my number? My number is $400. If I have $400 worth of orders, then I'm going to go ahead and send it in. And then if I get 300 more by the time that the campaign's getting ready to close, like I have a couple right now. Now I have followed up with people who haven't ordered yet. And by tomorrow morning, I always save the last day to place another order, because then it's then you got the order. You got the order. So my deal is I'm placing my order at 12 noon tomorrow. So what is it that you want? I've already sent it out to my customers today. They know. So I had 2 more orders come in. I have about $300 right now that's ready to go in. But remember, that's just over that whole week. That's me kind of working those customers a little at a time. Because when you have that many, I don't sit down and call all those people and text them to say, I can't do that. So what I do is I break them up and I say, okay, how many people am I going to contact today? Who hasn't? Sorry, Janae, it could be Zoom, baby. It could be Zoom. I'm not sure. So I need you. These are not rules. These are, I hear what Molly's saying. What can I take from this that will help me run a business where you are working your business around your life and not your life around Avon? I hate that. It will become a pain in your tush if it becomes you working your life around Avon. That's not what this business is made for, unless you are like full-time in this like I am, and you got a team of 700 people, and this is your bread and butter, and it's paying your mortgage and everything else. Then it does become more. But I need you, but it still requires work. It still requires work, but you get to set the tone. You get to set the schedule. And I know some of you feel like you're all over the place. You don't know what to do. You have got to figure out how you're going to manage your business and how you're going to make sure you are reaching out each campaign what works for you. Texting works for me. I use that Shuffle app that I use and send a message. They see all the products I'm highlighting. What can I get you? And 70% of my customers who haven't ordered will say, hey, Molly, nothing this time, or hey, I'll get that order to you in just a couple of hours, whatever that looks like. Some people you might want to call. There's some people, I'll be honest, I never have to call. I know that if they haven't placed an order because they're my customer and I know them, there's nothing that they want this campaign. That comes with the longer you're in business and you learn your customers, because I tell them, if the texts bother you, if you don't want me to call, whatever that looks like, you let me know what works for you. But I don't want to see you miss out on something and you wish that I had reminded you. So I need you to start thinking about ways that will make this business run a little bit smoother for you. So order early in the campaign. Make sure that you are linking to also not just our Facebook group, Team Onward, but another group. If you're like, I don't want to reinstall Facebook because I hate Facebook. Don't want to reinstall it just for Team Onward. I'm gonna give you a couple other reasons why you should. One of those reasons is we have the Avon USA group that's there to follow. All the training is put on there as far as what order reminders can go out in many different ways. Rebecca knows she's gonna make me squirrel. She knows she's gonna make me squirrel. I'm like on to something else, and here she come with a really great idea. She do that all the time with me. Janae does it all the time with me too. They know, and they doing it because they're gonna tell you they're trying to be helpful. And what they're doing is they're like, watch her squirrel. Watch 3, 2, 1. Here she goes. She's gonna go squirrel right back to her. Look at them laughing. They know it's true. I'm just saying. Remember, y'all. I am the leader of the tribe, no matter what they say.
Teamwork makes the dream work, dang it.
Okay, so there are groups now. If you're part of the Team Onward group, I'm going to ask one of our gals, whether it's Mary could probably do it, or Rebecca or Janae, somebody, if you will place those links to those groups If you can put them in here in the chat, it's great. But in the Team Onward group, because they have the Avon USA one where that supports you. They have the one where the social media group, all of that where you can follow. I'm not going to recommend a bunch of other groups because there's been a lot of havoc in Avon lately, and if I haven't recommended the Avon groups, stay the hell out of them. That's what I'm going to tell you, okay? Okay? That's all I'm going to say to you. Molly not going nowhere. Right here. We want you to be good. That's what I'm going to tell you. There are a few that are out there, but the ones that are Avon and like Avon promoted, like the 1-4 representatives, the social selling, you want to be a part of those. You want to make sure there's no greater way for you to get the most important information, the right training, than to follow the leader that you're with. Commiserate with the ones who are doing what you're doing, and then also finding out what it is that Avon wants you to know. And even though I take all of that, that's okay, Lucy, welcome back, glad you're back. I take all of those, and I always, Rebecca, Janae, all of them, there's just so many who take the links when something's going on and they put them into our group. So I don't want you to feel like, well, Molly, I don't want to watch all these groups. We try not to. We try to take everything and share it into it. Oh, Laura, I know. And Laura, believe it or not, you think there's one, honey, I could call out 52 right now. Let me tell you, I could call out 52. You know what? Avon will tell you, it's a good thing Molly ain't running that part of the company because we be shutting them all down, okay? Molly ain't got no time for all that, okay? You either know what you want, what you love. It never ceases to amaze me how much people will yell and scream about what they don't like, what they hate, but you never hear them talk about anything they like or that they're blessed with or that they're happy that something is a certain way. I'm like, you a bunch of spoiled brats. You need to get over yourself. That's what I said. But that's just Molly. And I know they all gonna see it on YouTube and they all gonna say, I'm gonna unfollow her because I know she's talking about me. And I'm gonna say, well, if you think that, I probably was, but that's okay. That's all right. Just be a different person then. It would be all right. And for all the ones that are laughing and you're like, wow, is she really being this way? That's because they know me so well and they know it's absolutely how Molly is. It just is what it is. If you are constantly in a struggle with a company, with yourself, whatever it is, and if you're always looking for the thing that's wrong, can I be honest? You're always going to find it. You're always going to find something that's wrong. But the point is it that life? Isn't there things in your own life that you wish you could change right here today? If you had a magic wand, if you had a genie in front of you, I would love to tell you that's how it works. But we all know, because all of you I know have lived through some life that you have not liked, and you've got to go through it or around it or over it or under it. And the through it part is the hardest one. It's the hardest preposition of Avon in life, in my opinion. But I love it. What did I hear last night? Lee and I were like, oh my gosh, it's so great. It was like when you find success, you win. But when you find failure, you learn. That was like suddenly all those times that I felt like, but I'm not where I wanted to be this campaign. My number, I didn't meet my number. I wanted to bring 2 people on. I didn't get to do it. It doesn't matter. My whole deal is, are you going to deal with what you just felt like you did wrong? Or are you going to say, what did I learn from it? What have I learned? Do you know that sometimes people have to walk away from Avon in order to figure out how good Avon really was compared to what they thought the grass was greener? See, there's always a shiny new penny out there. Understand that. There's always businesses that are a shiny new penny, and they will sometimes take off and they'll go examine. And you know what? Honest to God, there's nothing wrong with that, because let me be clear to all of you who are here and all of you who are watching the replay. Avon is not for everybody. And if it's not for you, and in any way if Avon was not helping you grow, I wouldn't want you here because I don't want to be part of stagnating you. I want you to go where you're happy. But what I'm not going to stand for is you trashing the company and I know you're not doing the work. That's what I'm not going to stand for. If you're not doing the work and you can't tell me you've done everything and you've been consistent, I can't do that. And by the way, I'm not telling you that because I'm getting on you. I'm telling you that because I've lived it. And I can tell you the times when things weren't right in my business. And to be real honest, it started with me. It always started and came back to me. And it's a hard thing to look at when you have to start at the mirror and say, what am I not doing or what didn't I do right? But I want my team to watch who they follow. There was a time I would put out, I could name 15 people I would tell you to follow because I believed in them. I believed in their path and I believed that they could be good for you. And what I learned in 2020 after a pandemic, and we're still kind of going through some of it, but what I've learned is I can only be responsible for what I share with you. And I can only be responsible for how I suggest that you run your business and how I am as a leader to you. Because for me to let myself think that I can be responsible for them when they can change on a dime, I can't. I can't do that anymore. So there are still some great people out there to follow. I would just tell you, be very careful. You better watch what they do. Don't listen to what they say. Okay, that's life right there. That's just life. That's just life in general. Okay, so let's get back to this. Your e-store. Did you know that you could go in and you can mess with your e-store and you can make it your own? You can go in, you put your picture up, you can connect it to your Facebook so that when there's a product you really like you all hear me talk all the time on my live streams about the VDL mint lip balm that I love a lot. Okay. I can go in and I can look this up on my e-store and I can hit my Pinterest, I can hit my Facebook page and I can actually share it and it will share the link with them on your social media. So if they're like, oh, she said that this does this, and this, and then they go and they click the link, they're right there to your e-store. They're right there. So you don't have to feel like, well, what happens if they end up on somebody else's page? If you're sharing that from your e-store to your social media, that works. Yes, and customers read it too. And yes, they watch all you do. Rebecca, you're so right. They really do. Lucky for me, they all know how cray-cray I am, so it's okay. You know, look, if you don't follow me on social media, why don't you? That I would ask you. It is hysterical. You'll figure out from 8 o'clock well, I'm sleeping at 8, so never mind. I'm that person. Molly, why'd you join Avon? Because I didn't like getting up 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't have to now that I'm doing Avon full time. That is the truest thing I can tell you right there. I used to hate getting up for work early. I am not that early riser. I'm not going to be that person. I never will be that person. I like staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning, and that's when I do my best work. Lucky for you, I don't call you or text you at 1 o'clock in the morning, but that's when I do my best work. That to me, people would go, that's crazy, Molly. You know, if you get up, don't judge me. I'm still putting in my 12 hours. Thank you very much. I'm just not putting them in at 5 a.m. If that's you, this will eventually be the dream position for you. People say, do you love the Avon events? I love them. I hate the fact that they don't know what it's like to be a representative. No Avon representative who does this at full time, who's in their right mind, gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning. They don't do that. They just don't do that. I don't have to do that. I'm not going to do that. Now, who wants to do that? You know why I don't have as many wrinkles as them people? Because I don't get up early in the morning. I can stay up late and do my skincare and it's okay. See? That's a lie, but if you fall for it, that's all good. Go ahead. I'm just going to say, go ahead with that bad boy right now. Okay, Tammy says, see, oh yeah, I was talking to Tammy the other night, and she says, oh, Molly, you know, I got this question, and we're talking, we're going back and forth on Messenger, and she says, I got to get to bed now because 2:30 comes up late, and I'm like, 2:30, like in the freaking morning? I'm like, are you crazy? She's like, yes, what time I got to be in job. But let me tell you what I love about that, Tammy. I don't ever forget where I came from, but sister. I remember the first 2 years of my Avon business. I remember having a full-time job that I worked at 8 to 10 hours a day. I remember coming home and doing what I did with the kids. And I remember going back out at 12:30 midnight and working till 5 in the morning and then doing it again. You want to know? I know you're like, a rep said to me the other day, I don't understand everything you've ever shared with us, whether it's on YouTube or on live, and you tell us about all this stuff. And they're like, I don't understand. Why is it that you never just give up and just walk away from this? I'm like, you want to know why? Because I remember when I came to Avon, what I felt like then. What's my why? I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to wondering how I'm going to make it and feeling like life was slipping away from me because all I ever did was work. Never had time to do anything else. So what kept me going, what still keeps me going, because Avon has seen some really rough times. Very simple. When you believe in something and you know how it can work when it all comes together, you stick with it because you don't want to get left behind. And no offense, who wants to start all over again? No, I don't. At 57, I ain't got a lot of those years left to be putting like 17 years into something else. Let me just say that right now. I ain't got that time. So make sure you're doing the stuff with your e-store. Go in and look, you can go in and play with it. You can preview it. If you don't like it, it'll go back to default. It'll do all of that. But if you're not using the tools that Avon provides you to use that can make your life simpler, then you're working too hard. Work smarter, not harder. I'm not telling you it's not hard work, but sometimes we do things that when we find a new way, it will give you more time back in your life. Yep, there's Tammy. See, I get up that early, plus clean 3 homes, and I work all the time. Tammy, one of my goals for you, sister, is that in 2 years, you're going to be able to give up the majority of that. And I hope that Avon, with your consistency and your drive, will allow you to give up some of these things. I can remember when I said, I just want to give up the paper route. That's all. I'll keep everything else, but I want to give up the paper route. And I did that. It took me about a year to do that. And I thought, this is so great. And then I can remember, I thought, wouldn't it be great if just maybe one day I can make enough money in this job I've been at for X amount of years, which was 17 years I was at my job. And by the way, my brother, my oldest brother, was my employer for 17 years. And I walked into him one day and I said, bro, I'm giving you my 2 weeks notice because you can't afford me anymore. And he said, what? And I said, and let me tell you, I love him, but he didn't want me to be successful because if I was successful, he'd lose me. I want you to think about that. Not that you're working for your family, but do you know why people are putting you down about what you do? And they'll say you'll never do anything with this, or it's not working, it's not coming fast enough, because somewhere along the line, you're going to prove it can work. And when you do, what does that make them look like? Oh, it does. Kim, you got your hand up. What you got for me?
I was just going to say that is exactly why I have recommitted to my business. Right now, currently, I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I drive into work for 2 hours. I work a 12-hour shift, and then I drive 2 more hours home. And I'm averaging maybe 4 hours of sleep a night right now. It's killing me.
And Kim doesn't work with nice people. She's taking care of people who are already in a bad mood because they don't feel good, okay? And we know how that goes. If you met our husbands and kids, oh my goodness, it's not good. Kim has been with me quite a while.
Yes.
Kim, I'm gonna tell on you here a little bit. But I have to because it drives her. I have to because it drives her.
That's right.
Kim has been somebody who, and she's been with me a while, and when she's doing what she should be doing with her business, it shows. It shows. I never have to wonder where Kim Hord is ever in her business because it shows. It shows. Now, she's not alone. I can say that about Janae Hensley. I can say that about Amy. And I'm picking people out here because I've watched how something's happened and they've backburnered their business. They thought it was the wise thing to do to back burner their business. But then they realized that what they're left with, what they were tending to, and a lot of things didn't do a damn thing to help them. There's just no other way to put it. But it takes commitment. And what happens is, see, Kim comes back like a firecracker. This is what's going to happen. Kim is going to come back. And I'm going to see this freaking explosion again, you know. And the last time she exploded, she brought Jennifer with her. And, you know, she was always before, can't get anybody who stays. They come, they don't do anything, can't get anybody to sign up. What's going on? And I'm like, Kim, when you find your right one, they're going to show up and they're going to really love what they do. And it's going to happen. And when she bought Jen, I mean, Jen engaged from boom. And I knew why her and Kim got along, because I could see why, because they both went after things the same way. And I thought, wow, this is really going to be good. And then what happens is people are watching you.
Yeah.
The people that you bring in are watching you. And what happens is, if your name was on a list and now it's not, they're what? Do you all know why I put my name on that recognition list? Y'all think it's because I just want to show off my 17 years. No, it's not. Because I have to hold myself accountable to you, that if I am telling you what you need to do to build your business, then I have to be able to show you the results of exactly what I've been sharing with you for 3 months, 7 years, 17 years. And if you'll notice, I don't really drift from what I've told you to do, from what I'm doing now. These girls who have been with me for so long, they will tell you, yeah, I know this thing she's doing tonight. We've been there a whole lot with her. We know she do it because we could probably just preach it word for word. But when they're in their game, their names are on my list. They're not fighting to make President's Club. They're going to make it. Rebecca, I've already told this story before, but some of you haven't heard it. Rebecca Furbush, let me tell you something. You want to talk about somebody who got on my nerves in the beginning? Rebecca had no faith in herself. I can say this because they love me now, but they didn't used to love me, these people, okay? They were trying to learn to like me. Rebecca got on my, you know, I don't think I can do this. And there are these top sellers in my area. And, you know, I just want to sell enough for this. But I knew that Rebecca was cut out for more. I could tell in the meetings when we had district sales meetings, she kept showing up. I kept thinking, I know she wants more. I don't ever get to make President's Club, blah, 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 blah. And she'd have all these reasons of why things have, customers weren't cooperating, whatever. And I said, Rebecca, you just need to do it and quit talking. Just do it. You have everything it takes. Don't worry about them people. That lady who's overselling you, who's she mean. That lady mean. I don't even like her. People shouldn't like her. You know why they shopping with her? Because there ain't nobody else in the area. And I'm not talking about Rebecca Kane, because Rebecca Kane's our top seller. But there is another lady who she gone now. Thank you, Jesus. Just saying, she gone now. And Rebecca never gave up. And she kept going back in and talking to the people that always complained about this representative who she was just a horrible, she just wasn't a people person. And you can't not be a people person with us. All of a sudden, Rebecca's numbers started turning around and turning around and turning around. And next thing I know, I'm like, holy crap, she's going to make President's Club. She's going to make President's Club. And she did. And I'm like, you just quit talking about what you couldn't do, and you just kept figuring out what worked for you. And now, just the confidence that I see in her now when she's helping people and she's spitting the answers out there because she knows the answers, those kind of things. Can I just say, not any more growth. Man, Rebecca, I don't even know if you know how much you've grown in the years that you've been with me. And I'm not her immediate upline. Linda Stagger's her immediate upline. But, you know, she like that grandbaby. You know how that go. But I just think that we're too busy trying to figure out why we can't do this. We're too busy listening to people telling you why you can't do this, why this isn't going to work for you. Maybe they sold before and it never worked for them. Maybe, oh no, it didn't. I never made any money. I just spent. No, it never worked when you gave out books, but they forgot to tell you that they never followed up. Oh, they never went to new places. They never showed up on the calls. They never showed up for the training. They never. There was so much never in their life that nothing else How could anything positive come out of that? You don't have to be perfect, but you've got to want something enough that you decide you're going to do what you need to do to get there. I got girls right now on this team who are working for Hawaii. You know why? They've never been to Hawaii. They've never made President's Club before. Laura Williams. Let's talk about Laura Williams. Laura Williams, I don't know where you came out of, but I'm going to tell you something right now. When your name started showing up on my list, I started paying attention, because when you are on the top 25 list of over 700 representatives on a team, and you were the dark horse coming out of the corner, girl. I said, something is driving this young lady. There's something else that she wants. And I thought, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to make sure I keep rewarding her for doing it. That's what I do now. And those are the things. Again, I don't listen to you. They'll tell you. Ask Janae how much I listen to her. Janae will tell you. I will say, I'm sorry, I'm not from the show me state, but that's what I require. Show me. And you know what? Sometimes she gets so pissy with me. You know what she does? She says, that's right. She says, I'm going to show her. Oh, I know you saying it. I'm your mama, and you know mama know what you think. And she's like, I'm going to show her. And you know what? She shows up and she shows me. She shows me. Margarita's another one. Margarita, oh my gosh. She comes out of the blue. I'm just like, okay, where's she come from? All of a sudden, I'm seeing her name, and I'm like, okay, I need to go research her a little bit. I know, got to see how many campaigns she's been in. What do we need to do? Yeah, she's coming along. Here she comes. I have to tell you, and let me tell you another thing. Lucy, not the first time I've heard from Lucy, but Lucy actually picked up her phone today and she called me because she had a question and she wanted to know. And Lucy, so that you know, I realized then that you were all in, because you did not let the fear of reaching out to me, or rather, I would act like I was exasperated because you called me. I didn't answer the phone, whatever that looked like. You said, I need the answer to this and I said, do you know how many new reps I wish would just reach out with their questions and would ask me? Because I got news for you. With 700 people, I'm not reaching out to everybody all at once, but when you want to talk to me, I'm here. I'm here. You want to talk about your business? I'm here. I'm here to help you. But I'll be daggone if I'm going to drag you over the line. You're either going to have my fat butt running after you, trying to catch you because you running across the line. Something's going to have to happen here. I'll tell you another one. Let's talk about Amy Lambright. Amy has been with me a long time too. Again, not in my first gen. She's in my second gen. Amy, COVID hit her immensely. I don't mean health-wise. I mean, Amy is a rep who really went after events. I mean, she went after them hard, man. She'd go out on a weekend. She wouldn't only sell what she wanted to sell. She would sell over what she wanted to sell. She was killing it out there. And then they shut down everything. And I'm not going to lie, Amy. I sat back and I said, let's see what happens here, because I feel like Amy has never really been tested because when she went out and decided to do this, she just knew what she wanted to do and she was good at it, but it was always open. It always happened unless there was bad weather. So here we come. What's she going to do now? Is she going to make President's Club? What's going to happen? Now, did Amy accomplish the numbers that she accomplished the year before? No, her events were done. I was worried she wouldn't hit President's Club. Let me tell you what, she hasn't shared with me how she did that, but I know one thing, she didn't sit back on her haunches. She did that. She's helping taking care of the loves of her life, these children that are in her life. She picked up, her and her husband have struggled here and there, and she still got it done. You want to know what impresses me? That impresses me when you come out of the gate or you come back. Look, sometimes I wonder for somebody like, especially Kim Marie, you know, when I haven't heard from her in a while, and then all of a sudden I hear from her, I go, uh-oh, what's up now? Let me see what my girl want now. What's going on? And I know that's probably has to take a lot for her to do that, to say, okay, what's Molly going to think? Is she even going to want to help me? Is she going to think, oh, here she just comes again? Do you know what I get from that? She's not going to quit. She's not going to quit. She's going to keep at this. She's going to figure it out. And when she finds her magic combination, she's going to say, why didn't it seem this easy the other times? Because she didn't stay engaged long enough. She had to stay a little bit longer. She had to come back one more time for it to happen. Kim Edwards doesn't say too much. Kim Edwards gets on here. She shows up every dang time, and she will never know how much I appreciate her showing up. Kim is one of our top sellers. Kim has not been in this company for 10 years, but she shows up, and in the middle of a pandemic, she has outdone her numbers time and time and time again. Wow, that's what I have to say about that. Mary's so funny. She comes in and she says, we're putting the posts up in the group about we're this far away from 42,000. And she goes, well, you know, I hope my order help. You know, I hope my order help a little bit. I remember when Mary wasn't so sure any of this was going to work, and she wasn't showing up on the Zooms, and she didn't realize that she could become a part of a community who was going to support her no matter how big or how small she saw her orders. Because the point is, we act as a team here. This is what we do. Tammy Pittman was my customer, brand spanking new with me. And Tammy, how long ago was it that you tried Avon? If you can type it in or whatever, we'll let her. But I think Tammy was with Avon before. I think that's how we kind of knew each other. And then she became my customer, 2013, okay? And then she became my customer, and of course, tried to give her great service, you know. But I was always sharing, because she follows me on Facebook, the things I love about the company. Look at these new products that are coming, blah, 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 blah. Next thing I know, Tammy shows up as a new representative, and I said, this is great. This is great. It's like, you know, man, I didn't even really like go after her or anything, because see, you worry when people leave a company and you want them to come back, you don't know what their experience was. So you don't want to pull them over the line, but she came on her own. Donna Dixon, another customer who was a previous representative, signed up the same week as Tammy, again, a customer. So ladies, I need you to listen to me. I'm not telling you all to go out there and start teams. I'm not. Some people are not meant to be leaders, or some people, and the other thing is this, you're not born a leader. So if you go, well, I wasn't born a leader, neither was I, okay? Have you forgot the hot mess that I still am, but I just act like I'm not anymore? I was not a leader, didn't want to do anything, but what I know is I have developed, because of this vehicle, Avon, I have developed into who I've become. Most of the time I'm proud of her, but a lot of times I'm not proud of her. But what I always do is make sure these people are following me, and I'm always I used to be not a fan of the zero sign up, and now I am, because direct sales isn't looked at really great out there because of how much it costs to get in, and it's all this product and blah, blah, blah. And I encourage them to get the kit, because I think that if they get the kit, they have a better start because they've got what they need. But your customers are watching, and in the matter of a minute, your customer's life can change and need some sort of a side hustle, need a way to make a few dollars. And if you're there just talking about the opportunity, something like, wow, I did my best in sales, you know, you don't have to put the amounts or anything like that. This is what I did. I did the best in sales. This is wonderful what I did, you know, and to think that you can join our company for free right now and do whatever it is that you want to do with it. I think that Tammy and Donna saw just how much fun I still have with it, even through the hard times. And believe me, we've had some hard times in this company, but we're coming out of those hard times. And I love that, because we're heading places we've never been before. You don't know. And sometimes it's nice to have a friend to do it with. I mean, I'm your friend, you're doing it with me, but isn't it great? I think I loved it when Kim bought Jennifer into it, and I kind of saw how they supported each other, even in the Avon world. I just thought that was absolutely just amazing that they did that. And I just looked at it as such a sisterhood that was already developed, and now they were going to develop it even more. There is something to be said for that. And by the way, why do you want to be great at what you do just as a representative? Because what in the world do you have to share with anybody if you're not? Laura, you got the world by the tail right now, sister. You have gone from wherever it was you were before to what you're doing now. You have got a testimony with what you're going after right now to be able to say, it's really hard if you're going, well, I sold $61 in 2 weeks, and so I made like $12.37. It's really hard for somebody to want to be a part of that. Let's be clear. If you're okay with it, that's okay. But if you can say, wow, 2 weeks, I sold $300 or $200 and I only had this many, or how about this? I sold $1,000. And I am like, now some people, I bet if I asked Laura, if I said, Laura, do you have some people that would look at you and go, what? You sold $1,000? Because that's what they did to me. You sold that many lipsticks, Molly? You? Please, stop it. I know I'm a hot mess, but yes, I sold all those lipsticks. Thank you very much. You can. You've just got to. Tammy says, I made $8.29 the other day. It's a start. Tammy, that's the difference. Do you see what Tammy just said? That's the difference. I certainly did. You know what? I bet Tammy didn't have to raise her hand to make that $8.29. I bet somebody went to her e-store probably and placed an order. All she had to do was share, and they went, and boom, there's $8.29. Where else can you go where half the work can be done for you? They ship it, they pack it, they deliver it. You don't have to handle returns. You don't have to do anything. Wow. That's huge. And then as a last one, let's talk about Floyd. Y'all have heard me every week. I can't quit talking about him. I keep thinking one of these campaigns, he's just like, what happened? I don't know. What happened, Floyd? I don't know, Floyd. What happened? Floyd keeps outdoing himself. $800 and something. Again, this is campaign after campaign after campaign. Cancer, surgeries, trying to recover, stage 4, whatever it is, recovery, rehab, infection, back to a hospital, get that done. This man never quits. And not to mention a man in a lady's world. Can we say that? And all he's doing is sharing those brochures in his e-site. That's all he's doing. And he's constantly telling people what he loves. Do you want to know why? Because he doesn't want to concentrate on what he doesn't like right now that's going on in his life. So he's chosen to pick up and talk about something he can make a difference. And I don't say this, Floyd knows what if I'm sharing. I know some of you, I called you out, never told you I would, but I'm not going to apologize, because people need to know that all of us have been where you're at, and we're all going through the same stuff, and we all put our pants on the same way, and we all have losses, and we all get sick, and we all had kids. Oh my goodness, we all have this crazy pandemic thing that went on. We all have it. It doesn't mean you can't make something with it. You can, but it's up to you. It's up to you and what you want to do with it. Okay, let me see. I didn't want to go over too much because I want to, okay, educate yourself. We talked about that. Make sure you're hooked up to the, for me, it's actually a distraction from the ugly. Laura, isn't it the truth? Because there ain't nothing about Avon that's ugly, sister. I agree with you. There are so many times, I told Lee all the time, it's a good thing I own a business and I have to be on social media for my team and my business. I said, because if I didn't, I'd shut down every platform I have and I would never get back on it again. And I would just simply, concentrate on the people I love. He said, no, you wouldn't. You love getting on social media and putting some crazy thing on Facebook that everybody's going to laugh about and everybody's going to say, where did this come from? And you're sharing products and you're being goofy and you're trying to be inspired. And he said, you would not be all right without that. And I said, you know what? You're probably right, because we can only be responsible for us. If you think the world is an ugly place, and believe me, I think the world is an ugly place, But you know what I think? I think there's a lot of people who are good people who are scared to be good people out in public. And I think that the more that we do good and the more that we share good and the more that we, remember that song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Never forget Sunday school. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. If you're hiding it under the bushel, if you were saying, oh no, I didn't want to offend anybody with my Avon, I don't want to offend anybody by being a positive light out there, then you are not living your fullest life. If they want to be miserable, you're not going to stop that, whether they're happy or they're sad or they're just miserable. So be happy, and whatever you love in this company, share it with people, treat your customers with respect, love your brothers and your sisters in Avon, share the love for the company, share the opportunity of what you can do with your kids there, and not to mention, what message are we feeding our kids and our grandkids and our nieces and our nephews? They are in need of a light right now. They are in need of that you can work and have something better than you ever thought. And it is up to us, nobody else but us, to show them something different that they may even be getting in their own home. Look, I didn't come from a great childhood. It wasn't awful. But I know one thing, I knew very early in life I wanted to be better than what I came from. And I wanted to be better than what I had failed at. And that's my wish for all of you, is that if this is what you want to be in, if this is what you want to do, then try to be your personal best. Not Molly's best, your personal best. You know what that looks like. Okay, so what's the homework tonight? And what am I giving away? I don't know what I'm giving. Oh, hold on. I'm going to show you what I'm giving away. I need you to know I'm grabbing stuff. I got sent all this stuff. I'm just grabbing stuff. I'm grabbing it. So I have to keep it on my desk till I make a list because I'll never forget what I said I was going to raffle. Okay, hold on. So I'm grabbing. Hold on. I'm grabbing. Okay. All right, this is what I got. I have 2 of these. Belief is, man, this stupid light. I just cannot sometimes. Belief is 1 year old this month in February. And if you all saw this in campaign 6 and you open up the birthday cake, and that isn't 1 year old like Belief, this is 1 year old with Avon. This is an extra large, and yes, it is as big as it looks. Let me tell you, this is bigger than the ones that you normally buy. I have 2 of these. This one is the Aqua Bomb. There's 2 different creams. Let me see. I got to see what this one is. See if it's the same or different. I got 2 of these. Is this an Aqua Bomb? Okay, this is the cream. So I have 1 cream. I have 1 of the Aqua Bombs, and then I have this set that we had for Christmas, the Moisture Miracle set, right here of the Belief. So your homework is, 1, have you used the Belief product yet? Shame on you if you haven't. I have sent most of you samples. Shame on you if you haven't. Have you used it? If you were lucky enough, which one of these would you like to have? Now, this one, don't pick this one because everybody's going to be entered in this one because it's a little bit of everything. Would you want the Aqua Bomb or the moisture cream? Okay, and if you don't know the difference, go pick up a brochure and read about it because I'm not going to tell you tonight how you like that. Do that homework. Thank you very much. Which one of these we want? And by the way, I am part of a special thing with Avon right now where we're actually one of their influencers putting this stuff out, which is why I have this. But this is great. I love this. This one I've already got popped up because I've been using this one where it looks like a birthday cake. Can you imagine knowing that you're getting this that maybe you're getting this for free, but that when you do, you could actually take the free stuff and yeah, you could sell it. But what if you could use something like this and put it out to your customers and take pictures and text it to them, tell them how much this really is. Look it up in the book because I'm not telling you that either. And say, if you place an order with me of X amount or more, then you're going to be entered to win this for free. Think about that. Think about that. Seriously. I know a lot of you take the products and you just use it, and a lot of you take the products and you just sell it, and I'm okay with that because whatever works for you. But sometimes you have to think about, if you're lucky enough to win some of this stuff, what are you going to do with the stuff you didn't have to pay a dime for, and make it, let it help you grow your business? Put on the thinking cap. What in the world can you do? Now, so I want to know which one you use, and you're going to email me. You're going to email me at molly7720@gmail.com. molly7720@gmail.com. Now, not only am I going to do these 3 products, but I'm also going to pick, how many people we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, we've had about 20 people on and off here tonight. I am going to put, let me call out a number here. For 3 people are going to win these, and 7 more people are going to win a set of 10 of the lip balms. All different kind of lip. I got so many lip balms here. I could daggone, I could wallpaper my house right now. I could, at least my downstairs. It's crazy. I've earned all these. So listen, I'm gonna do all that. You know what you could do with that? You could sell them. You could gift them. Y'all saw in the groups what I put that Teresa Paul was doing with these, trying to get new customers. Matter of fact, I'm gonna up that. It's not gonna be 10. I'm gonna put 25 of those bad boys. 25 of them. 7 of you are going to get 25 of them. So you're either going to win 2 phenomenal creams or a cream set that is the Belief set. And then, so there's going to be 10 of you who can win this. Okay. So you're going to tell me, which one do you like? What do you like about it? What do you like about it? And if you can't tell me what you like about it or why you use it, or, by the way, it's okay to tell me what you don't like about it too. Let me be clear. I don't use this cream. I can't. I've tried everything that they have. This is not a cream, that or the aqua, that I can use. I'm okay with that because, see, I got Esonox and I got all the rest of the ones that I just love. But if you don't, you need to tell me why you don't like it. You know why? I'm going to put all this together, why you don't like it, whatever it is, what it did for you, what it didn't do for you. And we're going to educate each other on this, because knowledge is power. And the more you know about products in this business, the better it would be. Now, if you haven't tried it, Tammy, that's an honest answer. Tammy, what you're going to say is, don't know, Molly, haven't tried it yet, but certainly would love to try it. That's going to be your homework, Tammy. So you're going to be okay with that. And also, everybody who wins one of these plus wins the lip balms, you're going to get Belief samples in there too. And if I get my PharmX samples in, you're going to get some PharmX samples too. I just got to make sure they're going to come in before I ship them out. I ordered them. They said they're coming. We'll see. So that's your homework. And if you're watching this replay, I hope you were smart enough to pull this replay up 48 hours from the time that you received it in your email box, the day that I send it out to you. Because if you don't, and you wait a week to watch this, you're not going to be entered. Because if the training isn't important enough to you to hit it when it comes to you, then you miss out on the good stuff. Because these people you see right here in the replay, they showed up, and the ones who watched the replay within 48 hours of receiving it, it was important to them to get the knowledge. And that's how I roll. And you don't have to like me, but it's how I roll. I'm spending the money on my team. It's going to the people who are making things happen in their own lives and their own business. And I feel like when you reward that, it keeps you going. I do not reward inactivity. If you're watching this and you're doing nothing and you haven't done any, don't even waste your time. Don't waste your time. I just don't waste your time. Don't do it. Don't do it. Kim, you're going to do it. I see her face now. You doing it. You doing it. Kim will. She'll be one of it. Amy's probably already sent it to me, because I swear, Amy, the first one who sent me, Amy, boom, there it is. I'll know as soon as she gets off. But you want to know why I say this? I know it sounds like I'm picking on them. I'm not picking on them. I'm telling you, they're go-getters. They're go-getters, and if they know that their leader will give them product for showing up and that you're active in your business and you've placed an order within the last 3 campaigns, you are in this to win it, you're going to do what you need to do. They want it because they want to use it to build their business. Do you? Do you? Got to figure out what you want in this business and what you're willing to do to build it. And I got to tell you, I'm proud of you. Thank you all for showing up. Khadijah, I see you there. Khadijah came in here late. Hello, my friend. Thanks for coming. Khadijah's another one. Again, not in my immediate first gen. She's underneath Julie Paulson. But let me tell you something. When she showed up with her orders, guess who was watching? Oh, yes, I was watching her. I was rooting for her. I was so glad she would watch the replay. She'd let me know that she did, even when she couldn't be here live. She wasn't sure she'd make President's Club. Girlfriend did it. She made President's Club. Her orders right now, she knocks them out of the park. She's always winning stuff from me for doing what she does. These people are no different than you. They just go out and work their business. And I see a lot of you following suit. I see it in your eye, like, she gonna be able to do more than pick on me next time, okay? Because I'm gonna be that person. She gonna talk about their sales. That's what I want. That's what you need to do. If you need anything from me, you know how to reach me. I will see you in 2 weeks, which will be the 15th. That will be Meeting in a Box. We will go over products then again. We'll have new products that'll be in here. We'll talk about those. But in the meantime, go forth. If you haven't put that order in, remember, we are we are at $29,411 in team sales. We need 42,000. We are short 12,500. Now, you've already activated campaign 5 because we did 46 in campaign 5. So that stands alone as a campaign. If we don't make it in campaign 6, we'll just have to say, well, that didn't happen, but we go for campaign 7. What's that for? All those product bundles, the Amazon gift cards, all of that kind of stuff. I sent out the incentive again and the recognition. Did everybody get the recognition? Yes, no, maybe so. Did you get that in your email? You haven't looked at, you haven't checked your email in 86 days. I get it. You know, that's what it is. Okay. Yes, go team for sure. So we're there. Look, a lot can happen in the last 24 hours. 12,500. Laura, you better have a big order, sister. That's all I'm going to say. But we're going to go for it. And you know what? We don't fail. We learn. We learn. And that's what we're going to do. Sooner or later, 6 months from now, we're going to be saying, oh, what do you mean 42,000? We're hitting 52,000. What are you talking about? We're just moving on up, as they said in the Jeffersons. So let's keep doing that. I love you guys. If you need me, like I said, reach out. Get those emails to me. I will have this on replay tomorrow. And we'll get this out in case you came in late so you can watch the whole thing. Take care, everybody. Have a great evening.
Bye, Molly.
Bye-bye.